Well, good morning and wake up, Wildcats. This is the latest edition of E-Town Live, coming to you from beautiful Evanston High School, but in different locations in ETHS because of the worsening situation with the pandemic. It's just great to, if you will, see you this morning, and we certainly have some great things, or at least important things, to share with you. It is Friday, November 20th. Next week is Thanksgiving, and starting next Wednesday, our official fall break will begin. So a lot in the works, and we'll try to catch you up today on some things that have been happening. I'm Dr. Eric Witherspoon. I'm the superintendent, and I am joined by the illustrious, as well as my good friend, Dr. Marcus Campbell. Marcus, good morning.
Good morning, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
You know, it's so odd sometimes to see you so often in these boxes, and you're only 30 steps down the hall.
It's odd.
You know, but it's our norm. So.
But it's our norm.
Yeah, and we're making. I was going to say we're making do just like everyone else.
We are, and I want to assure everybody out there and our students, while this building is quite empty, you will not see any of us anywhere outside of our own private space without a mask. It's vital. We know it's vital. We don't need anybody watching us and telling us we're taking that responsibility. And Dr. Campbell has some very stylish masks. So.
They're the same mask that you wear.
Well, there you go. Aren't we stylish?
Yes, we are. You're a very stylish superintendent. You know, the students say that all the time.
You're way too kind. So let me open with just a kind of overview of some of the things that we want to talk about today. We're going to use some of this time to talk about the survey results. This is the survey that we gave to parents and to students and to staff, and we want to be sure we report on that. But before we do, we'd like to just also bring you up to date on the situation here. Of course, you're seeing and hearing about the national news and the dangerous escalation of this deadly virus. So we all know that, but I want to give you an idea in the last week how we've been responding. As this started to evolve, Chicago modified their travel restrictions. And at the same time, we got some very good and important advice from suburban Cook County, I'm sorry, from the Chicago and suburban Cook County Department of Public Health. And they put some additional restrictions on as well. And we immediately subscribed to that and made sure that we were doing what the public health experts are recommending. But it was right after that, within a couple of days, the Governor Pritzker announced the Tier 3 mitigation. And many of you know that many things are now being restricted even more. And we certainly, you know, those of us who are following the science, we get it, and we understand why the governor is taking these steps. One of the things in that mitigation that is really had an impact on us, it directly impacted sports and youth sports in particular. And so one of the things that have come down is that high school, in fact, basically all school athletics and extracurriculars now have been put on pause, and are going to require, where possible, virtual interactions with coaches and sponsors because of this. So we have put the word out on that. Those of you who get our information are clearly very aware of that. We have no idea how long this pause may be, but again, if you're monitoring what's happening, not only nationally, but in Illinois and in Cook County, I expect this pause to last quite a while. Marcus.
Thank you, Eric. And this is so important because we want to hold on to our connections and our sense of hope. Hope is really key in this time as this virus and as this pandemic seems to just linger on. And as we've said before, we're a Wild Kid family, and we are determined to get through this together. We may need the support of our Wild Kid peers, but also our family members or anyone who's around us. This means that we have to follow the science and follow the advice that is guiding our decision making. So as we look to each other for support, we also know that that there's still great danger that is out there. So that means we must limit travel and gatherings. We must learn and work from home whenever possible. And we should participate in essential activities only, and just being very, very, very careful. I know this is hard. This is hard for me too. Hard, for my mom, and various family members. And it was hard to cancel Thanksgiving because we haven't seen each other. Haven't one of my aunts I have not seen, and my cousin was adamant about us singing. I said, we just can't do it. We just can't. And so we did. So we didn't. And then the breaks and holidays are coming up that will make this especially difficult. So we've continued to name and acknowledge so much loss in our community, even beyond the loss of in-person learning. We've had to rethink what it means to take care of ourselves and to take care of others. And with masks and with social distancing and with isolation. But as Eric has said, we need to stay vigilant and follow the public health guidance. And this is the only path we know to get us back together and get us back to ETHS, which is what we all want, which is what we all cherish so much. You can't imagine how much we miss the students. You just can't imagine that. It's something that is just so impactful. We all miss each other and we miss the kids. In the meantime, our teachers and staff are doing everything that they can to support students to finish the semester strong. And there are only 3 weeks left in the second quarter when students get back from the time off next week. And if you need an academic boost, you can always go to virtual Wild Kid Academy this Saturday, the 21st, tomorrow. And if you need to catch up on any missing assignments or homework, use next Monday or Tuesday to get that done. Because we know that it's just hard to stay focused and it's hard to just even do some of the regular normal things. But we're making some adjustments for you. Eric?
Yeah, thanks, Marcus. I'll reiterate that. I think I'll begin by just mentioning something that while our freshmen have yet to really interact in person with us, when Dr. Campbell says that we miss you, we miss you. We love you. We love you. You are what make this a great school. And not only that, but being part of your lives and your growth and your nurturing and watching you develop over your 4 years here at ETHS is a real bonus and opportunity for us. And we know that we're fortunate to be able to be part of your lives during this important period. And we are now, but clearly remote learning has a lot of trade-offs. And I do want to remind you again what Dr. Campbell said. So Monday and Tuesday, the 23rd and 24th, are actually remote planning days. They're not non-attendance days. We will not be taking attendance, but you really do, as he said, have a chance to do catch up. In fact, you have a great chance even tomorrow, Saturday, the 21st, because it's our next Wild Kid Academy. And really encourage you to take advantage of that, to take advantage of reaching out and with contact with your teachers, seeking extra help if you need it, but use, if you need it, the remote planning days to catch up, to make up work. To do it on your own schedule, because you don't have to be logging in to specific class times. But we want to watch out for your academic progress as well as your well-being. And this is a great chance. And then you know that you have from Wednesday through that next weekend as the fall break. So again, a chance to renew and catch up and to take care of yourselves and those in your household. We did, of course, do the e-learning fall survey. And I'd like to share a few things that I think were very worth noting. First of all, we found that there was overall satisfaction. Doesn't mean people were saying that let's keep it forever. Doesn't mean that people were saying, you know, it's equal to in-person learning. We know it's not. But it is worth noting that 60% of our student respondents were satisfied overall with e-learning. 71% of our parents and guardians were satisfied overall with e-learning. And those who experience it firsthand every single day, 77% of our staff were satisfied overall with e-learning. And again, we didn't ask, is it better than in person? But we asked satisfaction with what we're trying to do here. And it was good to see that. What that survey is going to do, and we shared this when we were going in, is it's going to help us make modifications and to get better with the e-learning. And we really are taking it seriously. Our research office was able to digest and put the open-ended comments in a format that make them more usable for our teachers and entire staff. They were able to find 50 common responses of all the many responses among the parent surveys, and they were able to find 15 common areas among the staff. Now remember, we had like 1,500 of the other surveys, and we had about 300 staff surveys. So there weren't as many open-ended comments either, obviously. But those are being shared with department chairs, with instructional leaders. They will be sharing it with teachers and staff, and we will be taking to heart what we learned from those surveys. Dr. Campbell.
Thank you, Eric. Yes, as we mentioned at the board meeting, when the preliminary results were available, we did not hesitate to dig in and to see what we can do in response to the data. So I want to thank all of the students, guardians, and staff members who completed the survey. The results will not only help us guiding in our current e-learning efforts, but it will also help us in our in-person strategies when we are back in person. For example, students reported in the open-ended comments that teachers being flexible in class is one of the things that helped them learn. And teachers being understanding and empathetic is also helping in their learning. This may not be surprising, but it helps us focus on what we can do moving forward to support student learning. We know that kids are human beings too. And often, just because they walk into a classroom, they don't leave what happened in the hallway, or leave what happened at home, or leave what happened in the cafeteria, or leave what happens in the community outside. All of that comes into the classroom and it shows up on the screen. And so I want to thank all of the teachers for being so caring and kind and empathetic. And we'll definitely continue that kind of compassion as we come back to the building. One important piece of feedback is related to our e-learning. It was our e-learning schedule. And for example, we asked students if there were any aspects of the current live learning schedule that you would like to maintain for the future when we are back in person. And I just think this is great. More than half of the students said they would like to maintain asynchronous Mondays. Wouldn't we all, if we could do that? Just have Monday as an asynchronous learning day. And they would like to maintain, likewise, more than 6% of the staff say they would also Mondays, and so would I. About 14% of the guardians responded that the block schedule has worked well with e-learning. So we're taking note of the feedback. We have all kinds of requirements for in-person seat time and all of that, but we are gathering feedback to see what can we do differently when we come back. We will be back, but what will happen when we get back? And so it's just great to know that asynchronous Mondays is working out for a lot of folks. And let me just say, Eric and I have we've been very proud of the work that our staff and our students and our teachers have done. And listening, the asynchronous time that we've built into the schedule has really just been remarkable. Some other districts have had to make adjustments to that because they didn't think about that. So it just makes me proud that the Wild Kid spirit that, we built this in early on because we knew that our staff and students would need it. So it just makes me proud that we see that that's working out for us. Eric?
Yeah, thank you so much for those comments, Marcus. It resonates, and and thank you. So I'd just like to kind of think a minute about where we are, and encourage all of us to keep our optimism. Keep our optimism about the fact that the human spirit is strong, and ETHS has persevered and dealt with a lot of things, and it's well over 130 years. Obviously there were people here in the great pandemic of 1918 and 1919, which was also correlating with World War I. Imagine how hard times had to be then, and they didn't have hospitals and medical science and communication like we have today. And yet it was terrible. It was deadly. It was way more deadly, we pray and hope, than it should turn out today. And there was no vaccine, and there was no hope of a vaccine. People here went through the Great Depression. They went through World War II and so many sacrifices. They went through the turmoil of the 1960s, and they went through a Great Recession and 9/11. And the human experience isn't always easy. But if you think about it, the majority of our lives still provide us with so much to participate in, to enjoy, to have one another, to learn, to grow, to evolve, to get better. And so I just remind you, we are resilient. And when we persevere, we can absolutely overcome any challenge that we have. I know for many families, as Dr. Campbell said, modifying Thanksgiving plans can't be easy. Modifying holiday plans over the winter break can't be easy. In fact, I'm experiencing it. But I just encourage you, stay strong. Remind yourself that this too shall pass. And we will be back to in-person in the future here at ETHS. And we will not only regain so many of the things that we want and we're used to, but I think we really will be better for it. And as we go forward, we'll talk about how we can implement the things that we have learned through this pandemic and how they can actually make things better here at ETHS and better for us once we get through this. But please, even at a time where we're dealing with painful political strife in this country, when we're dealing with sickening racial injustice in this country, human beings have always endured. And believe me, if you think about the Middle Ages, the late 1800s, the early 1900s, and things do get better, even with the roller coaster ups and downs. So find joy in your Thanksgiving. Find joy in the fall break. And find all the things that you indeed can be thankful for. I just have one reminder that the Alumni Association is premiering a new and virtual speaker series that's going to be offered monthly. It's called Coming Together Conversations with ETHS Alumni. I've seen the programming plans, and I think you're going to find it really great. So there will be monthly episodes, and they will be available on the alumni page of ETHS as well as on our YouTube channel. So I'll remind you that we keep trying to pump stuff out. And we got some great fan programs and other things to announce, but we will keep trying to pump things out that help enrich all of our lives. And I'm going to turn it over to Marcus, but I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And hang in there. There are great and wonderful things on the horizon.
Well, Dr. Witherspoon, we certainly thank you for your words and your encouragement. And certainly we all have the recognition that we're all tired, we're exhausted, but we will get through this. And with that said, have a safe and restful fall break. Students, remember, we're returning to e-learning Monday, November 30th. And Dr. Witherspoon and I will be back with eTown Live on December 4th. We look forward to seeing you and connecting with you then. And until that time, be safe, happy Thanksgiving, and be well.